we are going to learn about dynamic block. What is dynamic block? And about dimension and dimension settings. We will dimension style. We will know about multi-line text and single line text style. We will learn about this today, and about layers, how we can save that layers as a separate file. So how we can do that? So let's explore the layer first. In the yesterday's class we have covered how we can create layer, manage layers. Okay, and now let's clear some layers first at this layer properties manager. So with this I'll create a layer. Okay, let's change the colors. You can change the line types as well. You can load it, click on OK, select it and OK. This you can load that as well. Click on OK and choose any other. Click on OK and select the center. Okay, now it's done. Now let's see how we can control our projects with these layers. So suppose for this 0 layer I have this box with this blue one. Let's have a circle. Let's have this circle. You can change the background color for this now, so that you can easily understand. Uniform, let's change the uniform background. Go to select color and click on OK. Try and close, apply and OK. Okay, let's go with green. Let's select with 2 point. You can go again with this 2 point, and there you can add these two layers with again circle. Okay, and blue, let's define polygon, three-sided polygon. Center will be this one. Let's define it with circumscribed to this. Okay. So let's control how we can do it. So we have this on, freeze and lock option for each and every layer, and another is plot. Okay, so we will learn about these features. About on, so if I right now all the layers are currently on, so the blue is active right now. So if I off it, so it will ask me about, as because this is the current layer, so it will ask me for the permission. So now the visibility is currently off. Okay, now if I select it and if I move it, okay, so as because this object is currently in the AutoCAD, this is present in AutoCAD, but the visibility only changed. The visibility is hidden right now, but with that move option, if I select it, it will be selected and it will be moved. Okay, so for that, So for that, what I have to do, I have to select with Control A, and if I go with move, so that will be moved. Okay, as because this is present in AutoCAD, but the visibility is hidden. And if you freeze it, suppose if you freeze this, let's freeze this 2, as because this is the current layer, so we cannot freeze the current layer. So that's the one con about freeze. We cannot freeze the current layer because the current layer is active, so active person cannot be freeze, so it's same like that. So I can freeze the green layer or red layer, you can freeze it. Okay, now if I press Control A, and all the objects has been selected which are present in AutoCAD, and if I move, so right now the objects are placed are wherever it was, it is in that same place. Okay, so that's about freeze. So why it's happened, it is when we freeze it, it's not present in AutoCAD, it's stored in RAM, and then when we again thaw it, so this sun symbol means thaw and this means freeze right now. So when we thaw it, so it again comes back at the previous position from where it was freezed. Okay, so for that, let me show you a better option. Okay, so for that, let me show you a better option with hatch, so that you can easily understand hatch. So you can use gradient as well. So gradient is a two color shade. Okay, so that kind of pattern you can use. So let me choose this color and this color, or else you can choose this one and this one. Okay, and I will choose pick point, and I'll pick this up and I'll place it here. Okay, and now this is currently associative boundaries option is checked. Okay, and you can do with this, or you can select this one. Okay, then you can change the angle as well. All right, so associative boundary means this gradient or the hatch or the pattern is associated with this boundary. Okay, wherever it is filled, it is associated with that boundary. Okay, so for that, if you want, I have placed within this boundary, so now I will remove it. I will select and press, sorry, go to hatch edit again, select this object and enter. It is right now removed. Again I will press hatch, I will go to hatch and I will select gradient, that gradient. Now I'll choose select boundary object, so that it will fill within this triangle. Okay, now associative option is checked, click on enter. Now what will happen if I change this line length and again these things? So as because this is associated with that triangle, so that hatch or the pattern or the gradient will be updated according to that boundary. So that is all about associative. Okay, so and what was the layer? So that you can see, select it and go to control 1, and you can see the color is by layer, so that is right now which is active, that is blue. So let me go with green. So I can go to this properties option, and from here I can change it to green layer. Okay, so the green layer, this is currently created. Okay, now what I'll do, I will do is, so now let's make the 0 as a current layer, and what I'll do is I'll make the green layer off. Okay, and with Control A I will select, and M I will move it. Okay, and if I press on again, so it will be on that position after this move. Okay, now if I go to this green and that freeze, even if I don't press Control A or just I select this way on also, as because here Control A won't affect anything, because that green layer, anything created with the green layer is not present in AutoCAD right now. So if I press M enter and move these objects, so even now if I thaw it, so that hatch will come here. So that's the freeze is that much powerful, even that associate object will work like that. Okay, so now if you change it, you can get it back again. All right, that's because it was associative. Okay, so this is all about on, off, freeze and thaw. And now this lock and unlock, if you lock it, so that layer cannot be changed, cannot be moved, cannot be modified. Any modification tool will not work on that particular layer if you lock it. Okay, so let me lock that 0 layer. So now you can see it's a little bit faded away, the color is faded. Okay, so now if I select and if I try to move it, it will be selected but it won't move. So that position, let me move it. Here you can see I selected it, but if I try to move it, it will not be moved. It's showing the lock symbol. Okay, so for the bigger projects, you can control with locks, so that even by mistake you don't move it, or any you don't make any changes to them. So that's why we lock.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, what's the difference between the freeze and lock?
Freeze and lock, yes. So there you won't see, when you freeze it, you won't see those things. Okay, so with that visibility, you can like you want to freeze something, and you without that you want to move it like this hatch, you want to place on at that position, you want to place like suppose some movement, some objects will be moved, but the hatch won't be moved, so that will be in that same position. So like that you can do. So freeze, when you freeze the object, it is not present in AutoCAD, and if you lock it, it is present in AutoCAD, but anything won't happen, any changes won't be happen to that object.
Okay.
Okay, so next option is plot. Now if you change that plot, if you change in any particular layer, so if you click on it, so a red cross will come on it. So that means you cannot plot this layer. Okay, that blue layer won't be printed. So if you go to layout, and there if you try to print out, if you want to print it out, just let me go with default options. Okay, and with this default options, let me check the preview, and here you see this is not okay. This that blue layer will not be printed. So even if you want to more better understanding, so let me do with this green. Okay, green layer, this hatch has been done with this green layer, and let me go with this plot. DWG to PDF, and with this default options. I will explain all these later. Don't worry. Go to preview, and here you can see. So with that layer option, you can control the printability. Okay, if you don't want to print that part, you can control with layers. So you don't have to delete. That will be present in your project, but you don't want to print it out. So this way you can control it. Okay, so this is all about your layers, and let's come back to our model space. And after creating this, you can change the transparency as well. This transparency option is available here. So here you can change the transparency and click on OK. And here you can see this hatch, this green layer. All the objects created with this green layer have the transparency to 80. So that transparency you can add as well. Okay, and you can add some this new viewport freeze option is available also. So in your model space that will be present, but in the new viewport that will be freeze. Okay, so that you also can do that. So how you can get the reflection of that? So here we have this viewport we have. So let me delete this viewport. This locked. Okay. This is currently locked. This layer currently locked. Okay. What is happening in this layer is okay. Maybe yes. Because this is locked here from the layout. So that's why I couldn't delete this viewport even. Okay. I hope you understood. So viewport. Let me add viewports here. Viewports here. So suppose I need four equal viewports. Okay, four equal viewports, and it will fit in this position. So here you can see this new with this in this new viewport. I have created this new viewport, and here this green is not even visible here. Okay, so even so, don't worry about don't get confused about this plot option. So in this new viewport, let me stretch it out so that you can get the full view. Go to yes. So here you can see this green layer is right now with this new viewport freeze. If I thaw it, this new viewport freeze option, if I thaw it, it will come back again on that new viewport. So for that I have to create new viewport, or let's check with regenerate. Okay, no, so the regenerate will not work. So if I delete this layout and let me create a new viewport, so for that viewport is the option. So viewports is the option, and let me create a single viewport. So from this point to this point, if I create it, so in this new viewport it will come back. Okay, all right. Now after creating your layers, how you can save it? So how you can save it as a different file. So for that, for your different projects, if you create your door, window, and these things, if you create such layers, and for each and every project you need that kind of layers, so with that same properties you need that. So for each and every project you will not create, or you want that time to be saved. So for that, this layer has been created, and what you can do is you can give it a name with this new layer state, or else you can directly go to this layer states manager. Okay, layer states manager, you can click on this drop down arrow, and from here you can go to this manage layer states, or else if you are in this layer properties manager, and from here as well you can go with this icon, or the shortcut is alt s. You click on it, the layer states manager will be open, and now you have to click on the new, you have to give the name, and let's save it as AutoCAD. AutoCAD. Okay, and you can give a description. This is for first floor plan or anything like that. You can give the descriptions, or what kind of layers available here, you can give the description. So let's click on OK, and then you have to export it. So the file type of layers is star.las. This is the file type of layer files in AutoCAD. Okay, so this is the file, and you can save it in document, and let's save it and click on close. And if you go to this new drawing, you can go to this layer properties, or then go to layer states manager, and here you can import that file. We have one drawback, that we cannot get our line types, whatever line types we have assigned with that. So that line types will not be stored, because that's stored with a different file and you have to load it again. So that's the thing. So let's check with if I even load it here, so if that comes or not. So let's check it.
Your voice is not audible properly.
Is it audible now?
No, not yet. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it's audible now.
Okay, all right. Okay, so go to layer states manager and go to import option, and there, see, you cannot find out your layer file, right? You cannot see it. So for that you must assign these files of type to .las, then only you can find it out. All right, and then click on open, and here you can see, yes, it's asking restore states, and yes. So this way only you have to remember, what are the line types, were loaded in that. So for that, it should be coming over here. So for that, in this line type, you have to load this first, so then only you can get it. So if you open in another file, and here, see, these are not loaded. Okay, there is nothing loaded. And now if I go to layer states manager and import it, if I choose this and click on open, and here you can see restore could not restore all line types, you will get this error, and you'll restore it, and again you have to load it, and then you have to one by one you have to select it. Okay, so there, that will be easier. You just have to now you all know what you have to do, what steps you have to follow. So while you are saving it, you make sure you write those down, the name of your line types, so that when you will import to another file, so you remember and load these from your properties palette, and then you will get all those. Okay, so that's the thing you have to done, or else you can go to this line type here, and from here also you can load these all into this file. You can load this. Let me select like this, load, and this will be loaded. You don't have to select, this will be loaded, and click on OK, and then you can import. Okay, so that you have to make sure. All right, and now let's go for our uh, dynamic block option. Okay, so yesterday's class we have seen how to create blocks, and now we will see some cool feature about block. Okay, so for that, let me show with door symbol that I have showed to you. So let me select with one with this. Okay, okay, for that I can do with this. Okay, so here I will do it with this zero layer. Let me do it. So first I will set the units. Okay, so that I will choose millimeter precision to 0, click on OK, and dash DWG units, that is currently inches. I will set to 3 millimeters, display format 2, precision up to 2, scale objects from other drawings, insert yes, yes, and as because this is currently matching, so I will yes, 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 and it's done. And then I will create my door symbol. So first of all, so suppose your ortho mode is right now not activated. Even if you press shift, you will get straight line. Okay, so see, when I press shift, you check in the status bar that ortho mode is currently on. If I release the shift button, okay, with the shift key you can also work. All right, and now I will make a copy of this in this direction 1200. Okay, and now from this I will create 1200. Okay, and I can define with arc. So for that, let me go with start center end. I can go with start center end or center start end, that will be better. So this is my center, and this point will be the start point, and this point will be the end point. Okay, so I can define with arc as well. So this is currently done. I'll simply choose B. If I want to save it as a different DWG file, then I'll go with WB, already discussed in the previous class. I'll choose convert to block, and here I can name it first D1. Let's select the object. These are the objects. Pick point. Let's pick this point, and the whole everything is done. Now for creating this block as a dynamic block, I will check this open in block editor, so that even after creating it as After this, I will go to directly the block editor, and there I can change the editing part. So right now let's not do this. I'm not checking it. So click on OK. Suppose this way you have created a normal block, and after that you want to uh, convert it into dynamic block. So for that, there is this block editor option is available. You have to select that block name and click on OK. So then we are currently in block editor. So suppose you had checked on that open in block editor option, so uh, you directly came into this block editor. Okay, now we have this block editor option, and here you can see this block authoring palette is currently available, where we will get this parameters and action. We will provide a parameters and action. So suppose this is not floating around, so then how you can bring it? Here in this ribbon you get this authoring palettes. If you click on it, you will get this floating. Okay, you can dock it at this side, you can dock this, you can again make it floating. Okay, all right, so let's give some parameters, and according to the parameters we have to give action. So those action will be reflected into our block, then it will work dynamically. So that's why we call it dynamic block. So let's give it a parameter first. Let's give this linear. So from this point to this point, we'll give it a linear parameter. And now we are getting these two arrow grip points for this parameter. And why I have provided in this, because I can with this parameter, and after providing the action accordingly, I can increase the length of this block. Okay, so I don't need this side, I will increase this side only. So for that, what I'll do, I'll select this parameter, right click, and there you can select this grip display only one. So why this side I am getting, why not this side? Because the first point will be eliminated. The first grip point, so from here I have provided this side, so the first grip point will be eliminated. So I got this. Okay, and you can do with control 1 as well. If you select that and go to control 1, and from there you can get those number of grips, and you can do it. Okay, and now let's set this value set distance type. So the distance type is set as none. I will do with increment. I can provide the list as well. So with the list I can go to this option, and here I can provide the 1200, and I can provide 750, 900, all my door length list I can provide here. Let's add this way, and I can give the incremental value. Like if I provide 300 as incremental value, so after 1200 it will increment up to 1500, then after 1500, 1800, this way you will get also. So you can use list option, add 1500, add, suppose 1050 is also there, you can add that as well. Okay, suppose you don't need this, you have mistakenly added, so this delete option is there, and click on OK. And here you can see some lines has been added. All right, okay, so 1200 is the maximum, so that's why. And you can name this, you can change the name. So for that you can change it to length. Okay, you can change the name, this length option, and everything is done, you can close this properties palette. And after that, what you have to do is you give a stretch. You have to give stretch parameter. So I'll show you some errors that, and after that I will make the correction so that you understand better. So this is the select parameter, and with this point it will be associated, and then I have to specify first stretch corner. Okay, so for that this will be the corner. Okay, within this, these object, and these, there is a line. So for that, what I have to do is, within this customization, selection cycling option should be on, and when I'll try to select it, see, yes, this line is selected. I don't need that to be selected, so I'll deselect it. Okay, so that part will be stretched, and press enter. Now here you can see there was a yellow exclamation symbol was there, and now it comes with this stretch. That means this action is assigned with this parameter. And if you go to this test block, okay, I got again the fatal error. No. Okay, nope. So now I'm testing the block, and here, see, I'm getting error with this arc. So that's, so for that, that arc should be stretched out, right? So for that, this this arc should be in that parameter as well. So for that, I already have the parameter. Again, go to this stretch, select this, and with this it will be associated, and then you have to define the stretch, corner stretch. Okay, so for that, this will be the corner. Okay, so let's do with the stretch, and select this, that will be stretched, and that as well will be stretched, and enter, and this another stretch has been assigned. Now if you select this stretch action, and if you go to this control 1, the properties of this stretch action, and there you got this angle offset. So within the, with this angle offset, it will be stretched out. So 90 is the angle offset, right? Okay, so that will be set as 90, and let's check again. Go to test block. Now you see, got this, but here I am getting this error, right? Here I am getting this error. So let's solve it. Now go to this stretch modifier. Okay, and here suppose you already have the selection for this modifier. Now go to modify selection, and then you can again assign the stretch corner. Okay, let me assign up to this, and you can add or remove. Okay, so this arc should be selected, and this line should be selected. Okay, so that everything is all right. and press enter, and you can go to test block again. So I'm getting this error. Okay, so let's solve that. Okay, so for that let's go to stretch, action selection set, modify, go to modify selection set, specify the stretch corner, and let's remove this. What happened? Let's see if I remove this and press enter and test block. So it will, as per my knowledge, it will not work. It will only move this line only. So let's check it. Yeah, yeah. See, you can see it will only move that line. So that shouldn't be done. So for this we are not getting that line properly. Sorry, this arc properly done, right? So for that, what we can do is let's check with this selection set. So everything is all right, but I'm not getting. So let's check with this 90. So that angle offset, let's do it with 180, as because 180 direction I'm going it. So let's check with that and go to test block. Okay, so I have to done with that again. Action selection set, modify selection. This is your stretch corner. This is selected and this has been added. Enter, and now go to test block. Click on OK. So now this is increasing in this direction, 180 direction. So let's select this, and that will be 0. That will be set to 0. So that needed to be scaled down as well. So for that we can add the scale. Okay, so let's change it again. Let's go with this action selection set, modify selection set, and this is the corner, and let's add this as well. Let's add this. Let's add this. Okay, enter. Go to test block. Click on OK. Okay, so it's not working. Let's delete this and let's assign it again. Go to stretch, select this. This is the point to be associated with. This is the stretch corner, and these, let's select this way, this parameter as well, and press enter. Now let's test the block. Nope, it's not working like that. So I should scale that down. So that arc should be scaled down as well. So for that, let's go with this scale, that is the parameter, and then select this object and press enter. Okay, now let's go with this test block. Okay, so these close block. So for that, let's add this modify selection set. Or else what we can do is, okay, so let's assign those. Let's again assign those. So let's assign the stretch first. This is first point. Let's assign with the parameters as well. So linear, this is the linear, and select, right click, grip display only one, and you can also go to rename parameter though. So length, enter, and then go to action, then select stretch, then select this parameter this point will be associated with, and then specify first corner. So this is the first corner. Then the objects will be selected. Let's select the object. So the line should be selected. Okay, so this is the line should be selected, and press enter. And then let's go with the stretch again, or the scale. Let's assign the scale then. Okay, so this this is the parameter. Then select this. Okay, this should be scaled down, and press enter, and select this object as well. This will be scaled down, this will be scaled down, and let's select this will be scaled down as well, and press enter. And let's test the block. Let's check what is the right condition now. Yeah, okay, so we are getting, we can provide the stretch, close the test block. We can delete this. With this scale option only we can provide. Go to test block. That scale option we can provide only. Okay, so for that, let's go with this control one, and there you can provide this distance type, increment or list. You can provide the list 750, add 900, add. Okay, click on OK, and if you go to test block, click on OK, and there you got it. Okay, you can go with the simple scale option. And now let's assign the flip parameter. The flip, go to this flip parameter, so that I will place that flip parameter at the middle of this. So go to this flip parameter. So I'll press and hold shift button and right click on it, mid between 2 points. I'll choose this 2 points and at the middle. So this will be the vertical, will be the flip axis, and you can place this label anywhere. Now you got it. Okay, and then again you can assign another flip parameter. So for that, again hold shift and right click, mid between 2 points. This is the first point, this is the second point, and now horizontal axis, and here you can place it. Okay, now you have to assign with the action. Go to this action tab, flip, select the flip state 1 first, and then the object. These are the object, and press enter, and again go to this flip action. This flip state 2 will be selected, and these are your object, and enter. Go to test block now, click on OK, and here you got your flip arrows. Okay, let's see, close the test block. Suppose you can move it a bit so that you can get these two clearly. Okay, now go to test block and check it, and you are getting all right. You are getting perfect dynamic block, and you can change alignment option. So for that we have this alignment. So you can specify the base point of alignment. So let's specify this as the base point. So let's place horizontally, oh sorry, vertically the alignment, and you can place another alignment over here. So for that, horizontally, and this is done. You can go to close block editor and select the save changes to D1, and suppose you have this inclined line. Suppose you have this inclined line, you don't know the angle, and you are inserting your block, and here you can see it will align according to the line. Okay, and here after placing it, suppose you feel it will be it will open in this direction, so you can flip it. Open in this direction, you can flip it. If you want to flip it back again, you can flip it. Okay, so again you need to change it. So again go to block editor, and there you can see, go to flip state to this flip parameters, select it, and go to modify selection set. You can check there's all things are selected. Press enter. This should be working well. So let's test the block here. Now it's working fine, so there is no error. Yeah, all right, so it's working fine. And close block editor, save the changes. So there we got it. Is absolutely fine. Go to insert, can place accordingly. Okay. Select it. Okay, so this is your dynamic block. Delete. And now let's go with dynamic dimension settings. Let's go with the dimension settings. So D is the command for dimension settings. D. So we got two default dimension style. One is annotative and another is standard. So annotative has a different scale. So annotative objects are different. So you can scale the dimension with, if you set annotative as your dimension style. So with annotative scale you can change its parameters, properties you can change. So generally we work with standard. Let's go with this modify and this lines. So all these properties you can change the color by block, by layer. So whatever is the current layer you can assign with that particular layer, or if you want to overwrite it, so you can select red as your dimension line. You can change the line type of your dimension line. Okay, you can change the line weight as well and extend beyond ticks, so that if you want to extend it, so that you can do. And baseline spacing, so there you can see this baseline spacing is available here. So if you increase it, so from that point it will increase. Okay, so sorry, this from this it will increase the spacing. And these white are dimension lines, sorry, not dimension lines. These this this line you can suppress, dimension line you can suppress. Okay, with this suppress option. And these are your extension line. These white lines are your extension lines, so you can color those as well. Okay, can color those, you can suppress those. If you don't need those, you can suppress with this extension lines. You can change those line types as well. And extend beyond dimension लाइन के ऊपर कितना जाएगा, कितना extend होगा, वो यहाँ से हम लोग सेट कर सकते हैं, extend beyond dimension line. So if I, so here you can see. Okay, so now offset from origin is also there. That is this offset. If you increase this, so you can get it this way as well. So that is set in lines. And go to symbol and arrows. You define the arrowhead types, arrow size here, and the center marks. So center marks you can assign with lines. When you define radius, it will mark the center with center line. If you don't want to mark it, so you can select none. If you want to mark it, so what will be the mark value? Okay, mark length, so that you can see, you can select. So here you can see this dimension is breaking here. So when you are providing this radius dimension, radial dimension, it's breaking. So what will be the break size, that is defined here. Okay, and for arc length, when we'll provide arc dimension, for that this is the settings. Okay, now let's go to text. What will be the text style? This text style you can assign with annotative, so that you can control with annotative scale. All right, and if you go to this text style, this three little dots there, you can assign your text. Okay, you can assign your text font, your font style. All right, from here you can assign a different text color as well. You can assign a different text color, text height. Here you can assign the text placement. What All right, so where it will be placed. Okay, here you can do it. So centered is, and text alignment horizontally or aligned with the dimension line. So here you can see this dimension is placed in an angle, but the text is placed horizontally. So if you select aligned with dimension line, so it will align with the dimension line. Or if you select ISO standard, so as per the standard, it will be like that. So this should be selected most of the time. And fit, what is the best fit? So if there is a very narrow space, or according to this text height and the arrow size, if there is a lower dimension compared with this arrow size and text size, then what will be the best fit? You will choose this from here. And what is primary units? According to that, you will get your dimensions. So that is your primary units. You can assign your scale factor. And one more thing is, in this fit you can use this overall scale. So that scale factor will affect all these lines, symbol, arrows, text. All this will be affected by this use overall scale factor. And primary units is there. You can assign your primary units. And suppose you are working with millimeter, and you want to display another feet and inches. So for that, you can check this display alternate units. You can assign with engineering, and you can see here in bracket we are getting alternate units, so that can be provided as well. Okay, tolerance is for if you're working with like uh, mechanical drawings where nano precision is required. So how much tolerance? So that you can provide with this tolerance. So that's not required for our purpose. So that is all done, or all set, and you can go to modify again and check it as everything is all right, and click OK. And this should be selected and set current. This is the active dimension style right now. And let's have some objects. Okay, so now let's go with this linear from this point to this point. Here we are getting, so textile will be changed. So for that you can go to de-enter. After that you can go to modify, and you can change the overall scale, like 10 if you define 10, and click on OK and close. And here you can see it. So even 10 scale factor is even minimum. Let's go to modify. Let's assign 50 and click on OK, close it. So we are getting this. So that's better right now. Select this dimension. Okay, and suppose here I want to specify this to midpoint. Up to midpoint I want to specify. So midpoint, yes, so up to midpoint, and after that I want to continue. So for that I will not go to this, and so for that what I will do, I will select dimension continue, and then it will continue from the last end of this. Okay, or else you can go to select, or else you can select another dimension, and from that end of your selection will continue another dimension. Okay, up to this. Got it. So here you can see this dimension continue from this last end. Suppose you want to place this, so this half will be equal. And suppose with The same you want to place from this base, okay, from this end to this end, but that will be same dimension. So for that you can go to dimension base. Dim base is the command. You select this, and from this it will continue. So from the base point it will always count from the base where you have selected this dimension, so that will continue. Okay, so that is dimension base.
What is
And
the shortcut of this command? Or we have to put all the dimension base.
dim base, yes, you have to type it dim base. So auto suggestion will give you when you type dim b, it will
Okay.
with the auto suggestion.
Okay.
Arc length, select this is the arc length. And we have this diameter option in this there. Okay, we have this jogged dimension option is there. So jog dimension we generally provide when the center is uh, like it is not clear with the center, don't know what is the center, which one is the center. So for that to generally provide the jogged. So you can provide it from here. Okay, so this way you can provide it. And this ordinate dimension is also there. So ordinate dimension count the point distance. So this I have clicked on this point. So if I place it in the x direction, so it will count the uh, dimension from the origin in the y direction. If I place in the x direction, it will count the dimension, the length from the origin in the y direction. And if I place in the y direction, so that means it will count that point distance from the origin in x direction. Okay, so you can check it. So this is 27523. You can check that with id command. Here you can see this is the x value. Okay, so this way we will place dimension after setting the dimension style. Now let's go with text, how we can provide
Hello.
text. Yes, please.
Can you place the dimensions in the layout? Does the size of the dimension changes in the layout what we have set in the model space? And when we place them on the layout, I think the size of the dimension changes.
No, that will not change.
Okay.
So for that, you set the viewports. Okay, let's set the single viewport, fit it. And here, suppose if you draw anything, and here you want to place the dimension, right? So go to linear. Okay, so
Okay.
everything, yes, everything works fine. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes. So let's come back to this. Okay, now let's place dimension. So we have multi-line text and single line text. So with the name you can get it that in multiple lines you can place it. So what happen, even if you are placing in the multiple lines, so that will count as a single object for this multi-line text. Okay, so let's go with this. Let's change that text to like 250, enter. and next ground, and if you press enter, so you will come into next line, and here you can floor, and then go to this close text editor, or you can press escape and enter yes. So here you can see we have two lines, but this is counted as a single object. So that is our multi-line text, and you have here you got better controls. This text style, this text height you got bold, italic, underline options, font you can assign with the justification, and you can spell check as well. So these options you get in multi-line text. And if you go with single line text, so for that you just go with, and you can provide the height here, you can provide the same 250, and the rotation angle you can provide, so you can provide with the rotation angle. So here I'm not providing the rotation angle, and you write the text G and F. So here also I'm doing the same, but here what will happen, I will get G as a different text and F as a different text. Okay, so for escaping from this single line text, I have to press double enter and enter. Okay, so here you can see G has been selected as a different text, F as different text. So that is single line text. Okay, so now suppose you want to change the font. Okay, you want to change the font. So for that you have to convert it into multiple text, sorry, multi-line text. So for that you have to convert it into multi-line text. So for that you go this express tool tab, go to this express tool tab, and here you got convert to m text, and select this and press enter. So this you double click on it, and that is as a multi-line text, and you got all these features. But if you double click on it, this is still a normal single line text. You will not get these features. You can only modify the text, you can only change the text. Okay, so that's how you can change single line to multi-line text. And let's go to text style. So for your single line text, we have text style. Okay, so go to text style, go to text style. So we have this new value standard right now. So what is the command? That is style only. Style is the command, and here you can change, from here you can change it. Okay, and you can give the width factor, oblique angle. So width factor will stretch it. Okay, so that's good for here. If you give oblique angle, so it will like a italic you will get. So here I don't need it. And height, you can give height 5. Okay, so that will be the default height when you will assign the single line text. This height will be the default height. So for this, let's make it 0 only, and click on apply and close it. So here you will get it. Okay, you've got these changes over here. You can change it after that also. This is normal. Okay, so that style will work for. Okay, so from here also you can change it. And now if you assign the single line text, start point, the height is same, rotation angle will be 0, and here you can see we're getting with that. Okay. So this way we will place our text into object. So better we create a layer for text, and with that layer we assign our text, so we can control text with those layers. With that layer we can control our text. So that is about text. And yes, so we have our tables as well, so we can place our tables. So for chart it's better to create tables, don't create with lines, so that you can easily extract these into Excel. You can extract from AutoCAD into Excel. If you create with tables, then only you will get that option. Otherwise, if you create with lines and if you place text normally, so you will not get. So
Oh, we can use it to Excel also.
yes, if you create a table here, you can extract that into Excel.
Okay, okay.
Yes, if you only create with table.
Oh, okay. Only with the table.
Yes, if you
Okay.
create with lines, and you will not get that
Yeah,
option.
definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Because I used to try with the lines and then you used to copy that with the Excel. It didn't happen anytime.
So that will
Yeah.
be a time-taking task.
Yeah, definitely. This one is good. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So let's go with this. Start from empty table and specify insertion point, insertion behavior. You can specify with the window. If you specify window, so according to the window length and width, you will get the column and everything. So don't go with that. Even if you go with that, so you will get only this limited settings. You can set the columns, how many columns will be there, and the row height will be like you set, and these column width and data rows will be automatic. You can make it vice versa as well. So according to the window length and width, these auto option will be created. So always go with this specify insertion point, and here you can specify your column width. And so let's specify like 500, and data rows let's 10, and this also like 250. Let's define. And what will be the first row? That is title. Second row cell header, and this can be selected. If you want to change it, you can change it. Okay, so let's go with this. Click on OK, and let's select close text editor. So this is created right now, and if you select this, right click on it, and here you will get this export option, and you can export it. Okay, you can export with this CSV file as a CSV file, and you can import that .csv file into your Excel. Okay, so this is all about today's class. If you have any queries, you can ask me. I'm available.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Hello.
yes.
Sir, I just wanted to ask when we were giving parameters to the door in the
Block
block.
editor, block editor,
Yes.
right? For the dynamic.
Basically,
Yes.
there was no need of the length parameter. Only we have to do the scale parameter. That's what I got to understood.
Okay, so if you don't have the parameter, you cannot assign the action. So parameter
No,
is
no,
needed.
I was asking that was only scale parameter needed in the end, na? Not the length parameter that we added in the starting.
No,
You
no,
deleted that.
stretch action. That is
Ah,
not
yeah,
parameter.
yeah. Sorry, sorry.
Stretch action.
Sorry. Yeah,
Yes,
stretch parameter was not needed.
yes. So
Okay.
uh, we can work with stretch as well. So let me fix the errors. I'm getting the errors. So today I have showed to you with scale, and let me fix the errors and let me show you to next class.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, if we copy a block with all the parameters and actions, does it work in our drawing?
Yes. Definitely.
Okay. Because there are some frameworks and blocks which are precisely done. So if
Hmm.
we copy those directly in our drawing, so even that will work with the parameters and actions,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. Right.
Okay.
One more thing, actually. Can you share that name you told earlier, Sri Divya or something, right?
I didn't get to your point.
The for the queries like the schedule and everything, you told to ask the ma'am the name of
Uh, yeah.
Divya
Yeah.
Shri or Sri Divya or something, right?
Divyashri ma'am. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you
Yes.
share
Yes.
it in the group
Yes.
contact? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was
Okay.
contacting him. She was a little busy today, so
Okay. Not today only. We can do it tomorrow,
yeah.
day after tomorrow as well.
Okay, so you can contact Mr. Suvigya as well.
Okay. No, I had asked her. He by mistakenly sent the mail ID, I guess. I need to check it once. So just if available there, can you share it the contact on the group? Contact.
Okay, Mr.
Yeah.
Suvigya or Divyashri ma'am.
Divashri, Divashri.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
All right then.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let me take the attendance. So who is present today? Akshay is present.
Yes.
Pranita is not present today. Piyush was present. Uh, Saurav,
Yeah, I am here.
yes, and Anirudh, yes, present.
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Yes, and Rohit.
Yes, sir. There.
Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Practice these things. And today I will share with you the plan. And in the next class, if it is possible to complete it and show it to me in the next class, it will be better. Or else I will definitely check on Monday.
Okay, sir.
So
Okay.
same
So
time
now,
tomorrow, Saturday.
Sorry?
Saturday is there tomorrow.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'll be taking the class. If you can complete the task within Saturday, so that should be better. Or else within Monday.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Oh, so we have tomorrow class.
Yes, we have.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, guys.